Hey everybody, it's Thomas here from Sinnis. So tonight we're on the Sinnis Terrain. I thought we'd do a video as we haven't actually, we haven't managed to get around to actually doing one. It's been really busy recently. Obviously the first batch of terrains have arrived and are out at the dealerships at the moment. We've had some brilliant photos and videos from yourselves, people have already purchased the terrains. One customer actually went over to Clearwyn Dam in Wales, where we done our video on the terrains, and obviously they relived the trip, which was really cool to see. So this evening, I'm just on my way home. I thought I'd take the Sinnis Terrain out this afternoon. Just obviously, since the first release of the terrain, we've had a lot of people obviously messaging wanting to have a riding video of the bike. Obviously, we done the Wales trip on them. And they performed absolutely amazing. They just performed so well. Yeah, so that video's had a lot of interest. I believe it's reached up to about 35,000 views now on YouTube, which is really good. We've had lots of emails in about it and an awful lot of interest, which is fantastic. There's nothing else out there really in this class of bike. Obviously you have your standard commuters and everything, and you have your sport bikes and you have your cruisers and your scooters, but there's nothing out there that is quite in an adventure bike styling with all the panniers, crash bars, etc. It comes with a tour screen. This bike really is like a full package, all in one, and the best bit is obviously it is a 125cc, so it really does reach out to the learner legal market, and it is very affordable for what you're getting for on this bike. We're starting to work on optional extras for the bikes as well. So obviously, as standard, as it comes with the panniers and all the metal work, but we're also working on new handguards. So I've actually got the prototype ones on my terrain right now. They're really good. I believe they're around about £20 retail. You can purchase them through the Sinnis Parts department or through your local dealership. So they're very affordable. They're not going to break the bank, and they're a great extra to have on this machine. Some of the comments we had from people was, obviously it is a 125. Obviously it does have a lot more weight to it. So obviously it isn't as fast to say a Sinnis RS 125 or an Apache, but it is more than enough for the roads. For normal town riding or even on the dual carriageway, it will sit around about 60 miles an hour, depending on rider weight and conditions. It also comes with a digital dash and a USB charging port here, and honestly I couldn't have picked a better 125 to go on. Obviously we'd done normal road testing on the trains, but we'd never truly put it for its paces for what it's partially designed for. Some of my concerns with the tyres, stuff like that. But when we actually got out there out there in the forest, out in the woodlands, this bike really came to life. It was absolutely fantastic. Everything from the handling to even being able to simply carry camera equipment in the boxes was something we've never had before on a bike, and we actually utilised them for what they were, and it was really good. The off-road capabilities of this bike it's fantastic. Obviously it's generally up there with the Sinnis Blade 125, although it doesn't have the trail wheels or anything, and the big knobbly tyres. It does have, get up here, it does have dual sport tyres, which are, to be honest with you, fantastic. Even on a really heavy gravel track or through thick heavy mud, this bike and tyres just handled it fantastically. We're in the middle of Wales. Literally there's nothing for miles and miles around. yeah, so starting off on the bike, it has a 270mm front disc with 3-piston caliper. It's running our own CBS system, which is extremely efficient. Obviously, what happened before this is obviously when you apply the rear brake, it only just applies the rear brake. So the bike can essentially go into a skid. What the CBS system does is it progressively applies the front brake. It progressively applies the front brake as well as the rear, and it does an extremely good job at slowing the bike effectively. It's much more safer. Let's say you can put up to the lights and you can really push that brake down, and all you'll do is come to a really nice progressive stop. If you apply the front brake, it only applies the front of the bike. So up on the front of the bike, it has LEDs, integrated side light, daytime running lights, as well as a high beam, low beam as standard. I actually really like the front end on this bike. It's very, very nice. It's got the tall touring screen, which does a fantastic job of keeping all the weather and the wind off you, especially on the fast roads like the dual carriageways. It does definitely protect you. Let's move up. So it has a digital dash up front with a rev gauge, fuel gauge, a gear selector, a clock, as well as interchangeable colours. Great headphones, mate, well done. As well as interchangeable colours on the dash between blue and orange. You could adjust them by pushing the select button here and holding it in a changeover. But the best feature on this bike is the USB port here, so you can have your iPhone holder here or whatever you want, and you can have your lead running and it will charge it out of the dash here. You can get a lot of miles on this bike. The fuel economy is really, really good. As standard, they also come with the crash bars up in the front here, as you can see. So if you had any laydowns or drops or anything, it definitely helped protect the bike. So this really is a one-of-a-kind bike. It meets all the needs that a 125 can reach, to be honest with you. It's the best all-rounder. It's got the panniers on the back, it's got the top box. As an optional extra, we are looking at a much bigger top box. Should be able to store a helmet in there. I've got a dual sport helmet on, so obviously it's got visor and peak. I'm unsure if that will fit in there because obviously they're the biggest helmets you can get. But again, you can definitely fit a lot of storage in there. It's got LED indicators all around, as well as integrated LED rear tail light. It's my bag gear changing. So it's got a 120 rear tyre. Something I want to cover on the tyres on this bike is they are, as standard, they are dual sport tyres, so they're for roads and light off-road, and they really do a fantastic job of what they do. Let's cut in here, and then we'll cut to the front. Yeah, so the tyres do a fantastic job on and off-road. I will show you a clip in a minute in this video of the terrain actually being used off-road. This is totally standard setup. I was up in a pine forest, middle of nowhere, and the bike performed absolutely outstanding. As I say, we took it through river crossings, took it through pine forest, through deep off-road tracks, through soft margin verges. It just handled it so well. I touched the road all the Sinnis blade and everything, and I personally prefer this. Although the blade would be better for the really deep off-road ruts and stuff, due to obviously the wheel setup and everything. But for the green lane and everything, this is more than capable of doing it. If anything, I think the bike was more capable than what I was. So it's really good. And the rain is here. Great. Yeah, just something else I wanted to cover was obviously the tyres in the wet. So we've just gone from dry to slippery roads, and it's so well planted. You can apply the brakes in this pouring rain, and they just stick very, very well. This got upside down forks on the front. They are similar to the Apache design. Obviously not the same, but they do a really, really good job at absorbing all the bumps and potholes in the road. They really do offer a smooth ride. That is one of the best things about this bike, in my opinion, is the suspension setup. It far surpasses many other 125s that I've tested. This bike is a very high quality machine, and for £2,400 retail, it is an absolute steal when you look at other 125s in that price range. It just sets itself apart. It's such a unique area and league. It's the best all-rounder. The general overall weather protection on this bike's good. So my feet are dry, my legs are dry. It keeps a lot of the elements off of you because it's got all the protection on the front. Also got a waterproof jacket on, so the only thing you're not going to protect is your arms, shoulders, face, etc. Nothing can protect you from that. But it does a good job. Can I come through, my lady? Thank you. So one of the things I also like about the Terrain is the exhaust system on here. It runs up and is integrated into the right hand side pannier. So the right hand side pannier does have a little bit less space than the other ones. It is the smallest one. But again, the exhaust looks very, very nice. It sounds absolutely brilliant. It just makes you, and the whole feel and ride of the bike is much more so than a 125. It just feels and oozes. It just oozes quality. I'm just pulling up to work now. What a miserable day. I left it was all fine.